The tire on Owen Hartley's truck hit another pothole on the dirt road, and he winced as his groceries shifted in the back. 3 hours to the nearest town meant every supply run was an event, but he preferred it that way. Fewer people, fewer questions, fewer reminders of everything he'd left behind. The forest had become his sanctuary, and the treehouse he'd built with his own hands was the only home that felt right anymore. He parked near the base of the massive Douglas fir that supported his dwelling and started unloading supplies. That's when he noticed something wrong. Deep gouges scarred the earth near his woodpile, each one as wide as his hand and carved into the soil like something heavy had dragged itself through. Owen crouched down, running his fingers along the disturbed ground. Not bare claws, too wide, too deliberate. Then he saw the blood, dark blue, almost purple in the fading afternoon light. It pooled in one of the gouges and created a trail leading into the dense underbrush toward the ravine. Owen's ranger training kicked in immediately. An injured animal could be dangerous, but more importantly, it could suffer for days if left alone. He grabbed his first aid kit from the truck and followed the trail. The forest grew quieter as he moved deeper. Even the birds had gone silent. Owen's boots barely made a sound on the soft earth as he tracked the blood spatter. Whatever had come through here was big and hurt badly. The trail led him down a steep embankment where the undergrowth grew thick and wild. He found the creature at the bottom of the ravine. Owen stopped breathing for a moment. The thing sprawled across the rocks was impossible, yet there it was. Scales that shimmered blue-gray in the dim light covered a body easily 20 feet long. Wings, or what remained of them, lay crumpled against its sides. The left one was shredded, membrane torn and hanging in strips. Deep gashes crossed the creature's flanks, and that strange blue blood seeped steadily from multiple wounds. A dragon, an actual dragon. It lifted its head as Owen approached, and he found himself staring into eyes that burned like molten gold. Intelligence lived in those eyes, unmistakable and profound. The creature's lips pulled back, revealing teeth like daggers, and a weak growl rumbled from its chest. But Owen could see the truth. This wasn't aggression. This was fear and pain wrapped in a desperate attempt at defense. "Easy," Owen said softly, the same voice he used with injured deer. "I'm not going to hurt you." The dragon tried to rise but collapsed immediately, its breath coming in harsh gasps. One of its forelegs was clearly broken, bent at an angle that made Owen's stomach turn. He'd seen enough injuries in his years as a ranger to know this creature was dying. Without help, it would be dead by morning. He should call someone, fish and wildlife, maybe the military. This was beyond anything in his experience. But even as the thought crossed his mind, Owen knew he wouldn't do it. Those golden eyes held too much awareness, too much person behind them. This wasn't just an animal, and Owen knew exactly what authorities did with things they didn't understand. "I'm going to help you," he said, moving slowly toward his first aid kit. "I need you to trust me. Can you do that?" The dragon watched him with those burning eyes. Its growling stopped, replaced by rapid, shallow breathing. Owen could see its strength fading fast. He had minutes, not hours. He started with the worst of the bleeding, using gauze and pressure bandages designed for large animals. The dragon flinched when he touched the wounds but didn't pull away. Its blood was warm, almost hot, and had a strange metallic smell unlike anything Owen had encountered. He worked quickly, his hands steady despite the impossibility of what he was doing. "You're going to be okay," he murmured, more to himself than the creature. "I've got you." The wing was the worst. Owen had no idea how to treat something like that, but he cleaned the tears as best he could and wrapped the damaged membrane to keep it from tearing further. The dragon made a sound like a whimper, and Owen felt his heart clench. Whatever this being was, it was suffering. He splinted the broken leg using branches and strips of cloth from his spare shirt. The dragon had stopped watching him now, its eyes half closed. Going into shock, Owen realized. He needed to get fluids into it, warmth, shelter. The ravine would be freezing once the sun set completely. "Stay with me," Owen said, grabbing his satellite phone. Not to call authorities, but to cancel his plans for the next week. He wasn't leaving this creature alone. He spent the next hour gathering materials, building a rough shelter over the dragon using fallen branches and a waterproof tarp from his truck. He brought down blankets, heated water, bottles, everything he could think of. The dragon lay still now, barely breathing, but its eyes flickered open occasionally to track his movements. As darkness fell completely, Owen sat down beside the creature, exhausted. He'd done everything he could for now. Either it would survive the night or it wouldn't. He pulled his jacket tighter against the cold and leaned back against a smooth boulder. "I don't know what you are, friend," he said quietly to the unconscious dragon. "But nobody dies alone in my forest, not if I can help it." The dragon's breathing steadied slightly, and Owen thought he saw one of those golden eyes crack open for just a moment before closing again. He settled in for a long night, his hand resting gently on the creature's scaled shoulder, keeping watch over something that shouldn't exist but somehow did. The stars came out above them, indifferent and eternal, while in a ravine in the Pacific Northwest, a lonely man and a broken dragon began an unlikely journey together. Pain dragged Sky back to consciousness like fishhooks in flesh. Every breath felt like broken glass grinding between ribs. The last thing Sky remembered was the fall, tumbling through the atmosphere of this backwater planet after the navigation system failed. The wing had torn on jagged rocks during the crash, and then there had been only darkness and agony. But something was different now. The wounds still burned, but they were cleaned and wrapped in strange, soft materials. Sky's excellent night vision revealed a small shelter overhead, keeping off the morning dew. And there, curled up against a rock with his jacket pulled tight, was the creature that had done this. Human, Sky recognized the species from coalition databases, though they were supposed to be pre-contact. Primitive, barely aware of the greater galaxy, yet this one had treated injuries that would have killed Sky without intervention. Why? Sky tried to move to put distance between them, but the broken leg screamed in protest. The movement woke the human immediately. He sat up, eyes alert, hands raised in a peaceful gesture. "Hey, easy there," the human said in his simple language. "You're safe, you need to stay still." Sky's translator implant caught the meaning if not the exact words. The human approached slowly, pulling items from a bag: water, food, medical supplies. He set them down within Sky's reach but didn't come closer. "I'm Owen, the human said, pointing to himself. "Owen, you probably can't understand me, but I'm trying to help." Sky studied him carefully. Owen was small compared to most sentient species, fragile-looking with soft skin and no natural weapons. His clothes were worn and practical, his hands calloused from work. Nothing about him suggested threat, yet Sky's training demanded caution. Humans were unknown variables, unpredictable. But Sky was also dying without help. Pride wouldn't heal these wounds. Sky reached slowly for the water container, watching Owen's reaction. The human smiled, a gesture that showed teeth but somehow conveyed friendliness rather than aggression. Strange species. Sky drank deeply, the cool liquid soothing a throat raw from pain and smoke inhalation. Over the next 3 days, an unlikely routine developed. Owen would arrive each morning with fresh supplies and spend hours tending to Sky's injuries. He changed bandages, brought food, and even managed to fashion a brace for the shattered wing using flexible materials Sky didn't recognize. His hands were gentle but confident, and he talked constantly in that soft, musical language. Sky began to understand some words: help, safe, food, friend, simple concepts, but they carried weight when backed by consistent action. Owen never tried to restrain Sky or call others. He simply helped and asked nothing in return. On the 4th day, Sky managed to rasp out a single word in Standard, the common language of the coalition. "Why?" Owen paused in his work, meeting Sky's eyes directly. Humans had such expressive faces, Sky realized. Every emotion played across them like water reflecting light. "Because you needed help," Owen said simply, though he couldn't possibly understand the question. But somehow Sky thought he did understand. There was a sadness in Owen's eyes that resonated with Sky's own pain. This human knew loss, knew isolation, knew what it meant to be broken and alone. Sky made a decision that would have horrified the Ashenwing elders. "I am Sky," Sky said carefully in standard, watching Owen's reaction. "Skyrend of Ashenwing clan, exile." Owen's eyes widened. "You can talk, you understand me." "Some learning," Sky gestured to the implant behind one ear ridge. "Translator, your language, simple, clean, like you." A smile crossed Owen's face, genuine and warm. "Simple, yeah, I guess that fits me pretty well." He sat down across from Sky. Cross-legged on the ground, "Why exile, what happened?" The question opened a dam Sky hadn't realized was there. In halting standard mixed with gestures, Sky explained. The arranged bonding to unite two powerful clans, the real purpose behind it to create a military alliance against the peaceful Riverscale people. Sky's refusal and the shame it brought. The choice between participating in potential war or leaving everything behind. "I chose exile over blood," Sky finished. "Clans say I am coward, dishonor ancestors." Owen listened to it all without interrupting, his face serious. When Sky finished, he was quiet for a long moment. Then he spoke, his words slow and deliberate. "My wife and daughter died 5 years ago, car accident." He stared at his hands. "I was supposed to be driving that day, but I had work. They went without me. I spent 2 years angry at the world, angry at myself, destroyed everything good in my life because I couldn't handle the pain. Finally came out here to get away from it all." Sky understood loss, understood running from pain. "You chose peace over power," Owen continued, looking up at Sky. "That doesn't make you a coward, that makes you brave, takes more strength to walk away from a fight than to start one." No one had ever said that to Sky before. In dragon culture, strength meant dominance, victory, the willingness to crush enemies, but this small human with his soft hands and sad eyes saw something different, saw honor where Sky's own clan saw only shame. "You are alone too," Sky said quietly, "both exiles." Owen smiled, and this time it reached his eyes. "Yeah, I guess we are, but maybe we don't have to be anymore." That night, Sky told Owen about the coalition, about the thousands of species that filled the galaxy, about Earth's protected status as a developing world. Owen listened with wonder, asking questions that showed a keen intelligence behind his simple words. "So nobody knows Earth is here?" Owen asked. "We're just alone in the galaxy." "Protected, coalition law. No contact until species achieve certain technology level. Earth has maybe 100 years before normal contact." "But you're here now." Sky made the dragon equivalent of a shrug. "Accident, I will leave when healed. Coalition must not know about me, would be complicated for your world." Owen nodded slowly, but something in his expression suggested he wasn't entirely convinced that Sky. Leaving was the right answer. For the first time since exile, Sky felt the same uncertainty. This small human had shown more honor and kindness than Sky's own clan. Leaving him felt wrong, like abandoning the only real friend Sky had ever known. 3 weeks had transformed the ravine into something resembling a proper camp. Owen had hauled down a portable heater, more blankets, and enough medical supplies to stock a small clinic. Sky's wounds were healing, though the wing damage remained severe. Owen had fashioned an elaborate brace using lightweight aluminum rods and elastic fabric, supporting the damaged membrane while it slowly regenerated. "Try moving it now," Owen said, adjusting one of the support struts. Slowly. Sky extended the wing carefully, feeling the pull of healing tissue. Pain flared, but not as sharply as before. The human's design was remarkable, distributing stress across the entire structure rather than focusing it on the damaged areas. "Better. You have skill with building." "I was a carpenter before I became a ranger, made furniture, built houses." Owen stepped back to examine his work. "Never thought I'd be making medical equipment for a dragon, though." Sky had learned that Owen used humor to deflect from difficult emotions. Humans did that, hiding depth beneath simple words. The more time Sky spent with him, the more fascinating the species became. Owen didn't just fix Sky's injuries. He brought books explaining human stories and history. He played music from a small device, introducing Sky to everything from classical symphonies to folk songs. Your people create much, Sky observed one evening as Owen strummed a guitar he'd brought down. Art, music, stories, why? What purpose? Owen paused mid-chord. Purpose, I guess, because it makes us feel something, reminds us we're alive. Why don't other species do that? Some, but most species in coalition are specialized. Logical, focus on efficiency and advancement. Art is secondary. Sky struggled for the right words. Dragons value strength and tradition. Our stories are battle histories, clan lineages, not like human tales with emotion and wonder. Owen played a soft melody, something sad and beautiful. Maybe that's what makes humans different. We feel too much sometimes, gets us in trouble. Or makes you kind, Sky said quietly. Makes you help broken dragon when logic says run. The guitar went silent. Owen looked at Sky with those expressive eyes. You're not broken, Sky, just hurt. There's a difference. Before Sky could respond, a familiar sensation prickled along sensory ridges. Electromagnetic signatures, faint but unmistakable. Coalition technology in orbit. Sky's head snapped up, scanning the night sky. What's wrong? Owen asked, immediately alert. Ship, coalition vessel in your solar system, distant but scanning. Sky's mind raced through possibilities. Could be patrol, could be searching. Searching for you. Maybe clan would not accept exile quietly, dishonor too great. Sky felt old fear rising. If they find me, they will take me back, force bonding, start their war. Owen stood up, jaw set in determination. Then we don't let them find you. How do their scanners work? What are they looking for? Sky explained the basics. Heat signatures, electromagnetic patterns, biological markers unique to each species. The scanners were sophisticated but not perfect. Problem is wing brace. Metal reflects scans, makes me visible. So we ditch the brace and you can't heal properly, or we keep it and they find you. Owen paced, thinking. What about interference? Could we mask your signature somehow? Would need significant electromagnetic activity, or thermal variance to confuse readings. Owen stopped pacing, a grin spreading across his face. The geothermal caves. About 2 miles from here, there's a whole system of caves with hot springs and mineral deposits. Could that work? Sky considered it. Yes, heat and minerals would create noise in scans, but moving there with injuries. We'll manage. I've got an ATV that can handle rough terrain. We start tonight. Owen was already gathering supplies, moving with purpose. I'm not letting them take you. The move took 6 hours of careful travel through darkness. Owen drove the all-terrain vehicle slowly, with Sky braced in a makeshift sled behind it. Every bump sent pain through damaged limbs, but Sky endured without complaint. Owen stopped frequently to check on Sky, adjusting positions and offering water. The caves were exactly as Owen described. Steam rose from pools of naturally heated water, and the walls glittered with crystalline formations. The electromagnetic signature from the minerals was strong enough to make Sky's implant crackle with interference. Perfect, Owen said, helping Sky settle into a smooth area near one of the warm pools. They'll never pick you out from all this noise. They had barely finished setting up when Sky's sensors caught new movement. A smaller craft descending through the atmosphere, heading in their general direction. But the signature was familiar in a way that made Sky's hearts clench. Someone's coming, Sky said. Single pilot, scout-class vessel. Your people. Yes, but this signature, I know it. Sky's voice dropped to barely a whisper. Drift, my sibling. Owen moved to Sky's side protectively. Will they report you? I don't know. Drift is young, still believes in clan honor and tradition, but also loved me once. Sky watched the sky, torn between hope and dread. We were close before exile. The craft landed in a clearing visible from the cave entrance. A dragon smaller than Sky emerged, scales the color of storm clouds. Drift moved with the confidence of youth, scanning the area with military precision. Then those familiar eyes locked onto the cave entrance and onto Sky. For a long moment, neither dragon moved. Then Drift approached slowly, stopping at the cave mouth. When Drift spoke, it was in the intimate dialect of clan family, words Owen couldn't understand but Sky felt in every scale. "Brother, what have you become?" Sky straightened as much as injuries allowed, meeting Drift's gaze. "I became free. What have you become, Drift?" "Clan enforcer." "Clan is searching. Mother is furious, calls you traitor and coward." Drift's eyes flickered to Owen, who stood calmly beside Sky despite facing a creature that could kill him instantly. "She sends scouts to all edges of Coalition space. I volunteered, hoping to find you first. To bring me back in chains. To warn you." Drift stepped into the cave, and Sky saw the conflict written across every feature. "The bonding proceeds without you. Mother chose another, but Riverscale people resist alliance. Clan prepares for conflict. Your refusal made things worse, not better." Sky felt crushing guilt, but Owen's hand on one scaled shoulder brought unexpected comfort. The human spoke, even though Drift couldn't understand the words. "Whatever they're saying, remember why you made your choice. Remember peace over power." Drift's eyes widened, studying Owen with new attention. "This human, you bond with it. Him, and yes, Owen, his friend, saved my life, showed me that honor exists beyond clan walls." Drift was quiet for a long moment. Then, carefully, Drift settled into a resting position. "I can give you 3 days. After that, I must report findings, but I will say I found no trace on this world." Drift stayed through the first night, watching with barely concealed amazement as Owen moved around the cave preparing food. The human had built a small fire near the entrance, using wood he'd gathered and skill that spoke of long practice. He cooked something that filled the air with savory smells, then offered a portion to Drift without hesitation. "Your human is strange," Drift said in clan dialect, sniffing the offered food cautiously. "Most species would flee from dragons. This one acts like we are equals." "Owen sees people, not monsters," Sky replied, switching to standard so Owen could follow the conversation through Sky's translator. "He judges by actions, not appearance." Owen smiled at them both. "I figured you'd be hungry after your flight. It's just stew, nothing fancy, but it's warm." Drift took a careful bite, eyes widening. "It has flavor, complexity. Most Coalition rations are efficient but tasteless. Your human creates food as art." "Humans create everything as art," Sky said with what might have been fondness. "Even simple things, I think they cannot help themselves." Over the next 2 days, Drift witnessed something that challenged everything the young dragon had been taught. Owen treated Sky's wounds with patience and care that went beyond simple medical necessity. He talked to Sky about everything from Earth's history to the best way to repair the wing brace. He played music on his guitar and explained the meanings behind the songs. And most shocking to Drift, he asked Sky's opinion on matters large and small, treating the injured exile as an equal partner rather than a burden. "You are happy here," Drift observed on the second evening, watching Sky and Owen work together to adjust the wing supports. "Happier than I ever saw you in the clan." Sky paused, considering the truth of those words. "Yes, Owen does not care about clan honor or battle prowess. He cares if I am in pain, if I am fed, if I have companionship. Simple things, but they matter more than glory." Drift's tail lashed in agitation. "Mother would strike you down for such words. Clan is everything. Tradition is everything." "Is it?" Sky challenged gently. "Drift, you know what the bonding would mean. Alliance with the Ironscale clan to dominate the Riverscale people. Conquest disguised as politics. Is that honor? The Riverscale are weak. They occupy valuable territory but lack strength to hold it. Natural order says strong should rule." But Drift's voice lacked conviction. Owen, who had been quietly listening, spoke up. "On Earth, we tried that philosophy for thousands of years, the strong dominating the weak. You know what it got us? Endless war, genocide, suffering. We're still learning, still making mistakes, but most of us figured out that strength without compassion just creates more pain." Drift stared at Owen, and Sky watched the young dragon's worldview crack just a little. "You are per-contact species, primitive, yet you speak of things Coalition philosophers debate." Being primitive doesn't mean being stupid, Owen said mildly. Just means we haven't been to space yet. We've still been dealing with the same problems every intelligent species faces. How to live together, how to resolve conflict, when to fight and when to walk away. Sky saw the moment Drift truly looked at Owen, seeing past the small frame and soft skin to the wisdom beneath. It was the same moment Sky had experienced weeks ago, realizing this human possessed depths that clan teachings never acknowledged could exist in lesser species. The Riverscale people filed formal complaints with the Coalition Council, Drift said quietly. About Ashenwing aggression, about the planned alliance. Council is investigating but has no proof of intentional conflict preparation. Sky's hearts raced. Because clan is careful, disguises conquest as legitimate political bonding. Yes, Drift looked between Sky and Owen, conflict clear in every line. But if someone could provide testimony, someone from inside clan who witnessed planning, someone who refused to participate. They would call Sky a traitor with grudge, Owen said, following the logic quickly. Dismiss the testimony. Unless there was corroborating evidence, or unless testimony came with requests that Coalition Council could not easily dismiss. Drift's eyes fixed on Sky with sudden intensity. Brother, Earth is protected world under Coalition law, but law allows for special circumstances, for asylum seekers. Sky understood immediately where Drift was going. No, absolutely not. That would reveal Earth's location, would accelerate first contact by decades, would change everything for Owen's people. Would also mean you could stay here legally, Drift pointed out. Would mean clan could not force your return, and your testimony about clan war planning combined with Riverscale complaints might give Council enough cause to intervene. Owen had gone very still. What exactly are we talking about? Sky turned to him, torn between hope and fear. Coalition law allows individuals from pre-contact worlds to petition for asylum in special circumstances. If I did that, Council would have to send representatives to verify situation. Would mean revealing Earth's existence to wider galaxy. Would mean your world faces first contact centuries early. Would change everything for humanity. But you'd be safe, Owen said slowly, and you could stop a war. At cost of exposing your entire species to galaxy before they are ready. Humans would face species with technology you cannot imagine, political systems you do not understand. Some coalition species would see Earth as opportunity for exploitation. Others would want to protect, but would also want to control human development. Your freedom as species would end. The cave fell silent except for water dripping and the crackle of fire. Owen stared into the flames, his expressive face showing the weight of the decision before them. Sky waited, knowing this human would need to think through all implications. Finally, Owen spoke. Tell me about the Riverscale people. What happens to them if this war starts? Drift answered. They are peaceful species, artistic, philosophical. They have defense forces, but nothing compared to combined Ashenwing and Ironskill military power. Coalition estimates suggest 70% casualties in first year of conflict. Possible extinction within 5 years if domination is total. Owen looked up at Sky, and in his eyes was the same determination Sky had seen when he first chose to help an injured dragon. You chose peace over power. You chose exile over participating in genocide. That's the kind of person, the kind of dragon who should be introducing my species to the stars, not someone who plays it safe. Owen, you do not understand what you are saying. I understand perfectly. Owen stood up, facing both dragons. I'm saying humanity deserves to make our own choice about joining the galaxy. I'm saying you deserve to be safe. And I'm saying those Riverscale people deserve to live. If one human and one dragon can start fixing all that, then let's do it. Drift helped them establish the communication link using the scout ship's quantum relay. Sky's claws were still too damaged for the delicate work, so Owen watched carefully as Drift explained each step. The human's ability to understand complex technology with minimal explanation impressed the young dragon. Your species learns quickly, Drift observed, setting up the final encryption protocols. Coalition assessment said humans would need another century to grasp quantum mechanics. Coalition assessment probably didn't account for humans being stubborn, Owen replied, double-checking connections the way Drift had shown him. We might not have invented this stuff, but we're pretty good at figuring out how things work. The relay connected with a soft chime. On the display, a symbol Sky recognized appeared, the Coalition Council's official seal. Drift had bypassed normal channels and connected directly to the Council's emergency petition system, reserved for asylum cases and critical interventions. Once you activate this, Drift warned, there is no going back. Council will respond within hours, ships will come, everything changes. Sky looked at Owen, giving the human one last chance to reconsider. But Owen simply nodded, that quiet determination in his eyes. He believed in this choice the way he'd believed in helping a dying dragon weeks ago. Simple faith that doing the right thing mattered more than convenience or safety. Sky activated the communication channel and began speaking in formal standard, the language of coalition law. I am Skyrend of the Ashenwing clan, currently residing on the protected world designated as Sol 3, locally called Earth. I petition the Council for asylum and request to provide testimony regarding imminent hostile action by my clan against the Riverscale people. The response came faster than expected. A voice smooth as water replied through the channel. Petition received. This is Counselor Reed of the Diplomatic Corps. Please hold position. A verification team will arrive within 6 standard hours. Be advised that initiating contact with a protected world is a serious matter requiring full investigation. Understood, Counselor. I await your arrival. Sky closed the channel and looked at Owen. It is done, no turning back now. Owen sat down heavily on a rock. 6 hours. Should probably use that time to figure out what I'm going to say when I become humanity's accidental first ambassador. You will do well, Sky said with confidence. You speak from heart, from compassion, that will matter to Council. Drift paced nervously. I should go, return to search pattern before mother suspects, but brother, I am proud of you. First time in my life I see true honor in action. Will you be safe? Sky asked, worried for the young dragon. Mother suspects nothing, and soon when Council intervenes, perhaps clan will see wisdom in your choice. Drift touched snouts with Sky in traditional farewell. I hope to see you again in better times. As Drift's ship lifted off, Owen and Sky prepared for the arrival of the Coalition representatives. Owen cleaned up the cave, organized supplies, and changed into his cleanest clothes. Sky could sense the human's nervousness beneath the calm exterior. I'm about to meet aliens, Owen said, almost laughing. Actual aliens, and somehow that's less scary than what comes after. How do I explain you to the world? How do I explain to 7 billion humans that we're not alone and everything is about to change? Start with truth, Sky suggested. Tell them about Broken Dragon who found kindness in unexpected place. Tell them about choice between war and peace. Humans understand stories. They will understand ours. The Coalition ships arrived exactly on schedule, 3 sleek vessels that appeared in Earth's sky like silver needles. They landed in the clearing near the cave, and from them emerged beings unlike anything Earth had ever seen. Counselor Reed was a wavelength, a species of crystalline beings who communicated through light and sound. With Reed came a security detail, medical personnel, and a recording specialist to document everything. Reed's voice emanated from a translation device. Skyrend of Ashenwing, you stand accused of violating protected world protocols. Before we proceed with asylum petition, you must explain these violations. Sky straightened despite the pain. I crashed here by accident after refusing participation in my clan's war preparations. The human Owen Hartley found me dying and chose to provide medical assistance. He did this knowing nothing of coalition law or consequences. His actions were pure compassion, not violation of any statute. Reed's crystalline form shifted colors as it processed this. And you revealed coalition existence to him in return, confirmed his world's place in A greater community. This is significant breach of protocol. With respect, counselor, the breach was mine alone. Owen simply responded to suffering with kindness. That should be commended, not punished. Owen stepped forward then, and Sky saw council members react to their first close look at a human. Owen met Reed's multifaceted gaze without flinching. I'm Owen Hartley. I'm a ranger and carpenter. I don't know anything about your protocols or laws, but I know that when someone is hurt and scared and alone, you help them. That's not complicated. That's just being decent. Reed's colors rippled in what Sky had learned meant curiosity. You understand that your world's status has changed, that humanity will now face accelerated contact with thousands of species, technologies beyond your comprehension, political complexities you cannot imagine. I understand that my friend Sky needs safety and a chance to stop a war. I understand that there are people called the Riverscale who deserve to live without threat of genocide. And I understand that if humanity is going to join the galaxy, better we do it by helping someone than by hiding. Owen's voice was steady, sincere. Maybe we're not ready by your standards, but we're ready to stand up for what's right. The clearing fell silent as Reed processed this. The other council members watched, recording every moment. Finally, Reed spoke again. In 300 years of coalition diplomatic service, I have rarely witnessed such clarity of moral purpose. You speak of concepts many advanced species struggle to grasp, human Owen Hartley. Just speaking from experience, Owen replied. Sky chose peace over power, exile over war, lost everything for what was right. That's the kind of person, the kind of dragon I want representing both our species. If that means Earth joins the bigger community sooner than expected, then so be it. Reed turned to Sky. Skyrend, your asylum petition is preliminarily approved pending full investigation. We will need your detailed testimony regarding Ashenwing clan activities. Then to Owen. And you, Owen Hartley, have just become Earth's first official contact with the Coalition. Your world will need guidance through this transition. Are you prepared for this responsibility? Owen looked at Sky, and the dragon saw trust and friendship in those expressive human eyes. I've got a good teacher. We'll figure it out together. The council chambers were nothing like Owen had imagined. Instead of cold metal and sterile surfaces, the space flowed with organic curves and soft light. Beings from across the galaxy filled the observation tiers, species Owen was only beginning to learn the names of. Wavelengths like Counselor Reed, Trilocks with their three-part consciousness, gentle river-scale delegates whose fate hung in balance. Sky sat beside Owen at the central platform, wing finally healed enough to fold properly, though it would never be perfect. The testimony had taken 3 days. Sky's detailed account of Ashenwing clan planning, the forced bonding arrangement, the military buildup disguised as political alliance. Evidence drift had secretly corroborated everything. The Riverscale delegates had wept openly, their musical voices breaking as they thanked Sky for the courage to speak truth. Now came the judgment. The head of the Coalition Council, an ancient being called the Keeper whose species predated most galactic civilization, spoke in a voice that resonated through the chamber without need for translation. Skyrend of Ashenwing, this council finds your testimony credible and your actions honorable. Your asylum petition is granted in full. You are hereby recognized as a coalition citizen with all rights and protections therein. The Ashenwing clan will face sanctions for their planned aggression, and the Riverscale people will receive coalition protection. Sky's relief was physical, shoulders sagging as weeks of tension released. Owen reached over and gently touched Sky's foreleg in support, the gesture drawing interested looks from the assembled species. Humans were still a novelty, and Owen's obvious bond with Sky fascinated many observers. The Keeper turned its ancient eyes to Owen. And you, Owen Hartley of Earth, you have demonstrated qualities we seek in all sentient beings: compassion without expectation of reward, courage in the face of uncertainty, and wisdom to recognize that true strength lies in protecting others. The Council requests that you serve as primary liaison during Earth's transition to Coalition membership. Owen had known this was coming, but still felt the weight of it. I'm just a guy who lives in a treehouse. There must be world leaders, diplomats, people way more qualified for this. Perhaps, the keeper acknowledged, but you are the human who saw a dying dragon and chose kindness over fear. You are the one who understood what truly mattered when faced with impossible choices. These qualities cannot be taught, Owen Hartley. They can only be recognized and honored. A river-scale delegate stood, their scales shimmering with emotion. If I may speak, Keeper, this human showed my people that compassion exists beyond our species. His friendship with Skyrend prevented a war that would have destroyed us. We formally request that humans be granted advanced partnership status in recognition of their unique capacity for empathy and moral clarity. The suggestion caused ripples through the chamber. Advanced partnership was usually only granted to species with centuries of coalition membership, but other delegates began voicing support. The Trilocs, known for their logic and careful analysis, argued that human emotional intelligence represented a valuable perspective the coalition lacked. Even some of the more militaristic species admitted that Owen's testimony about human history, about learning from cycles of violence, carried wisdom worth considering. The keeper raised a limb for silence. The proposal has merit. Humans demonstrate qualities that will enrich the coalition. However, Earth requires time to adapt. I propose a compromise. Owen Hartley will serve as Earth's ambassador with full coalition authority. Additional human representatives will join him as their world adjusts to galactic reality. Earth will maintain autonomy but will have immediate access to coalition resources and protection. Owen looked at Sky, silently asking for guidance. The dragon nodded encouragement. You can do this, you already have. Then I accept, Owen said. On behalf of humanity, we're honored and terrified and probably completely unprepared, but we'll do our best. The keeper's expression, inscrutable to human eyes, somehow conveyed approval. That is all any species can offer. This council is adjourned. 6 months later, Owen stood on the deck of his treehouse watching ships come and go from the new orbital platform. Earth had changed in ways both wonderful and challenging. The revelation of galactic civilization had sent shockwaves through every human society. Some nations had panicked. Others had embraced the opportunity. But slowly, humanity was finding its footing in the larger community. Sky landed beside him, wing movements still careful but gaining strength. The dragon had chosen to remain on Earth rather than seeking a new clan elsewhere. Together, they'd established Earth's first interspecies cultural center, housed in an expanded version of Owen's forest home. Ambassador Hartley, Sky said with gentle humor, you have 3 delegations arriving tomorrow. Trilocs want to discuss human philosophy, wavelengths want to study human music, and the river scale are bringing a gift of gratitude. Still weird being called ambassador, Owen admitted. I feel like I should be in a suit, not jeans and a flannel shirt. You are exactly as you should be. That is why it works. Sky settled into a comfortable position, scales catching the sunset light. Drift sent message today. They left Ashenwing clan, want to come study human culture if we will have them. Of course we will. Family is always welcome. Owen smiled, watching the stars emerge as darkness fell. Those stars were no longer unknown distances, but addresses, homes to friends and allies. You ever regret it, Sky? All of this happened because you refused that bonding, changed both our worlds forever. Sky considered the question seriously. I regret that change was necessary, regret that Riverscale people suffered fear before Council intervened, regret my clan's dishonor, but regret meeting you, regret finding real friendship and purpose, never. A transport shuttle descended toward the nearby landing pad, carrying the latest batch of human volunteers heading to coalition training centers. Young people eager to explore the galaxy, to learn and grow and represent their species. Among them were scientists, artists, engineers, and philosophers. Humanity was bringing its full self to the galactic community, not just its technology, but its creativity, its compassion, its stubborn hope. You know what's funny? Owen said. The coalition kept Earth isolated because they thought we weren't ready. Turns out we weren't ready for them either. But sometimes the best things happen when you're not ready, when you just do what's right even though it's scary. Wisdom from human who saved dying dragon in forest. Wisdom from a dragon who chose peace over power. Owen looked at his friend, this impossible being who had crashed into his life and changed everything. We did okay, didn't we? We did better than okay. We showed two civilizations that different species can be family. That compassion crosses all boundaries, that sometimes broken things fit. Together perfectly, Sky's golden eyes reflected the emerging stars. We changed two worlds forever, Owen Hartley, and both worlds are better for it. They sat together in comfortable silence as night embraced the forest. Above them, coalition ships and human vessels shared the sky in peaceful cooperation. Below, in the trees and clearings, representatives from across the galaxy worked alongside humans, building friendships and understanding. And in a treehouse that had once sheltered only loneliness, two souls who had found each other against all odds rested in the warmth of belonging. The broken dragon and the isolated human had become something neither could have achieved alone. A bridge between worlds, a testament to the power of kindness, and proof that the most important choices are often the simplest ones. Choose compassion, choose peace, choose to help when help is needed. Everything else follows from there. Owen reached over and gently scratched the base of Sky's neck ridge, a gesture that had become habit. Sky rumbled contentment, the sound mixing with the evening songs of Earth's birds and the distant hum of coalition technology. Two worlds, two species, one friendship that had changed the galaxy forever. And it had all started with a simple choice, to help a stranger in need, no matter how impossible it seemed. Some endings are really beginnings. This was both.